Welcome, y'all. Mercury conjunct North Node. Yes, it is a great deal. Okay. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you would know what this energy is about so far. But we'll get into more about what that means for the collective and how important it is for us to even know to then tap into the energy because this is something that's available to us. There's a lot of different aspects and transits that are available to us. But if we don't know, we don't activate it. So it's like, let's say you needed to charge your phone, but you don't know that there's an actual outlet right next to you. But until someone who knows of that outlet being there for you to charge your phone, you won't be able to charge your phone. Feel me? So, welcome, y'all. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let's get this. So, thank you for liking the video. Definitely hit that like button so I know that you're here. I know, Grand Rising, my love. Hey, y'all. Welcome, Amina, Allah. I love it. And little mama, welcome, y'all. What's going on with y'all? So, here's the thing. Okay, I get it. There's a lot that you've been experiencing. You've been clearing things out. You've been looking to see when is it that you can see this new opening. When does this newness begin? Well, Ashe, Empress, Ashe. That moment starts as of now. And what I mean by now is any moment that you shift your mindset, that becomes now. But we have Mercury in the sign of Taurus and North Node, as we know already, in the sign of Taurus. Okay, if you haven't checked out the North Node and Taurus, South Node and Scorpio video that we did at the time of that nodal shift, definitely check that out so you can know a little bit more about it. But we have Mercury and the North Node in Taurus, as well as Uranus in Taurus. Now, first and foremost, we have Uranus and Mercury in the sign of Taurus. Now, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Okay, so when we're looking at Uranus energy, we're looking at in tarot, the tarot card, the tarot card, the Tower card. We can also see that as the Fool card. But having those three in the sign of Taurus, what is Taurus about? Taurus is your emotional security. Okay. Taurus is connected to the second house, which is also connected to your throat chakra, which is where your intuition lives. Right here. You have the brain and you have your heart. Right in between that, you have the throat. Okay, that's the bridge in between those two. Now, a lot of you have been doing a lot of work, okay, when it comes to your journey and clearing things out so that you're able to hear this more. Now, to hear this more, you're clearing out the gut because everything comes straight to it. It's kind of like sunflowers to the sun. We as human beings, we're automatically like sunflowers to the sun, but we're sunflowers to all things, whether if it's the sun, the clouds, the tornadoes, whatever it is. But it depends on what's going on here that actually pulls that in. Now, one of the things that can block you from seeing beyond is the need for proof or factual things, okay, making it more physical than the spiritual. Right? You have Aries as a polar opposite to Libra, Gemini as a Taurus as a polar opposite to Scorpio, Gemini as a polar opposite to Sagittarius, Cancer as the polar opposite to Capricorn, Leo as the polar opposite to Aquarius, and Virgo as the polar opposite of Pisces. Now, all of the first signs that are mentioned are like the physical body. The polar opposite sign to it is the spiritual essence or the air that it breathes to become that side. Okay, so let's put it this way then. Aries breathes the air of Libra. So Aries, I am, is breathing the air of balance in order to become what that is, the I am, knowing what brings it vitality. Now that may be through partnerships, through relationships, same thing. Well, you can really change that however you want. But really growing through certain confrontational partnerships. So we're looking at Mercury, right? Conjunct to North Node, and these are in the sign of Taurus. So what is Taurus breathing? Taurus is breathing in the air of Scorpio. Transformation, death and rebirth, crisis, things that are microscopic. But in order for you to get to what that microscopic thing is, you have to have knowledge of what it is first to know which direction you're going. Sometimes that knowledge is having faith in the guidance in things or from things or situations that you may not be able to explain because it's coming from a hidden realm that's not usually accessed or perceived as such. Now, Scorpio has a lot to do with the underworld, and Taurus has a lot to do with Mother Nature, as well as your senses. So this is why Mother Nature is always the best example when it comes to releasing certain emotions, not making them a part of yourself. They're all there for you to figure things out and see what it is that actually serves you and what doesn't. Okay, so Mercury conjunct to the North Node in the sign of Taurus is the ideal moment for you to shift your reality just basically on what it is that you're thinking, the way you express yourself, because your thoughts is the way that you're going to express yourself with the external world. So this is why there's not much that you can hide from yourself unless you're being ignorant to it. That's usually how you hide certain lessons from yourself, is ignoring the fact that you've went through a certain cycle, um, learned certain uh, learned certain things that allows you to evolve. Okay, and that evolution is more so you stepping into who you are and having faith and trust in who you are. When we're talking about Taurus, we're looking at the King of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Hierophant. So the King of Pentacles energy is the enjoyment of the fruits of your labor. In order for you to grow certain fruits, you have to be in a certain environment. So in order for you to grow, you have to be in a certain environment. However, if you're not in the space that you want to be, that is still a test for you. Or I don't even want to say it's a test. It's a journey for you to find that sacred space, even if the environment doesn't seem as such, because your task may be more so connecting you to the spiritual aspects of life. And for others who are able to shift that immediately, their thing is more so going after the physical because they have the spiritual down pat. Hope you got all of that. Because I really be sitting here sometimes and wanting to take notes of like certain things that I research, but I just allow it to just enter, and whatever I'm supposed to discuss with y'all, it's usually most of the stuff that I picked up on. So definitely interesting vibes. But let's see what message Source has for you all. Source meaning Mercury. Okay, so these will be the messages that Mercury, which is the messenger of the gods, to the collective. Before we even get started with this message, those of you who are in this live and when you catch it on a replay, I'm going to give you about 1 minute. It just went to 10 on a dot. I'm going to give you 1 minute to take your deep breaths, okay? And set your intentions on what it is that you want to gain clarity on and where it is that you want Mercury to shift your perception, so that way you can finally connect to certain abilities that you didn't know you had, but this current aspect is going to help you get there. Okay, so just go ahead and take your deep breaths. Inhale for 4, exhale for 4. If you want to inhale for 4, hold it for 4, then exhale for 4. Go ahead and do so. But for the count of 4, we know 4 to be stability, the Empress energy, the I am that I am. Do you trust you enough? Okay. Do you trust you enough in becoming all that you are? We have the hawk coming out here. The hawk is the divine messenger. All right. So I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Mama Universe. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the solar systems. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the galaxies. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of Mercury. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the North Node. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of the moon. I connect my heart and soul to the heart and soul of my ancestors, spirit guides, gods and goddesses that flow through me as me to connect with you all, the collective, for us to converse through our mind's eye to see. Ashe, ashe, ashe. So here we go. We're going to start with the Divine Animal Oracle deck. And here's your message. Mercury conjunct North Node. Granting you the ability to change something in your life once and for all. But this can also create tension when you're not willing to change. So the main thing here is to step out of what? Your comfort zone. North Node in Taurus. There's things that you're learning that you're going to be learning differently, or the way that you choose to learn could be a different way of learning. And this is what's helping you have the mind, body, and soul transformation. The butterfly comes out with the falcon. And if you're following me on Instagram, you saw the high priest message explaining intend and create. Intend and create was the high priest message. But the first few messages we have here for the collective Divine Animal Oracle Butterflies message is, right now at this time, Mercury conjunct North Node, you're being guided to embrace change and detach from what no longer serves you. Begin now to recognize your own beauty and elegance, and the world will do the same. Mind your business, because if you start minding someone else's business, their mind becomes your business. If that's not the path that you want to handle, but you'd rather deal with, then you get what you ask for. So mind your business. And whatever anyone says about you is none of your business. You continue to do what the butterfly's message is stating here. You're being guided to embrace change and detach from what no longer serves you. Begin now to recognize your own beauty and elegance, and the world will do the same. Some of you entered a specific family that is fixed in doing certain things at certain times, and that energy or that spirit of innovation is within you. And that spirit of innovation is the same spirit that's causing energies around you to feel uncomfortable. But that energy of discomfort is what allows you to go from a caterpillar to a butterfly. Yeah. What else is this Mercury conjunct North Node guiding you to do at this time? The Falcon's message speaks of independence, knowledge, and clarity. It says here, message of the gods for the gods. You're being guided to observe. I had to pause on that for a bit. What does observation mean to you? What does that mean to you? When this message says you're being guided to observe, I would love to see what that means for you all collective. When you're being guided to observe, what does that truly mean? Because it doesn't necessarily mean to do anything, but just be in the moment and observe and see, look, feel. Channel the thoughts that you're having from what it is that you're observing. Before coming to a space of judgment, just observe. You'll start to pull in more love that way. That's another thing. But it says here, you are being guided to observe, grow spiritually. Grow spiritually, find clarity, and rise above any relationship issues. Your intuitive nature, speed, and accuracy allow you to find and seize opportunity effortlessly. So what's going to help you to seize opportunity effortlessly? Your intuitive nature, your chakra, speed and accuracy will allow you to find and seize opportunity effortlessly. And what do we have connected to the throat chakra right now as we are giving this message to you all is Mercury, Uranus, and the North Node in the sign of Taurus. Okay? Mercury is the rational mind, reasoning, communication, traveling, duality. Uranus has a lot to do with enlightenment, awakening, sudden changes, but this is also innovation. You're not here to be like no one else but yourself. The butterfly is asking you to step up. The butterfly, some of you could be seeing butterflies or falcons. Okay, we have here at the bottom of the deck the tiger. It is the water tiger's year. Right now is the moment. 6 is also connected to Virgo, which is ruled by Mercury. You've analyzed enough for this current moment that you're here right now. It's asking you here to begin a new journey, one that is exciting and purpose-driven, which is again connected to the North Node. You have everything you need to confront adversity and turn it into opportunity. And knowing a lot about your rising sign will also help you because that will show you a lot about what has been restricted throughout your bloodline and why you are the rising light to that situation in that energetic zodiac sign. Just saying. You have everything you need to confront adversity and turn it into opportunity. Fiercely pursue what you desire. Desire is connected to what it is that you want, and I want is the sacral. Now we have the moon's energy connecting up with us now. Sacral having to be the womb, the space of creation. It's also a space of darkness. There's a certain process that has to happen for something to be given birth to in the physical. It's not going to be overnight, right? So it says to fiercely pursue what you desire. You are an amazing life force. That's your Mars energy. Get to know more about the way you take action and which area of your life, meaning the house, could you be restricting yourself, or you may need a little bit more balance in there. So we have, you're an amazing life force with limitless power and potential. So again, going back to the North Node is your focus, what you're striving for. And the South Node has a lot to do with habits, things that you're comfortable doing. Let's get one more message here. I am going live during the Mercury hour on Instagram this evening, so that's like around 7:45. We have the whale coming out. Agility, imagination, and intuition. So Mercury conjunct North Node is asking you or guiding you to focus on emotional stability and listen to your inner guidance. The time has come for you to jump into action and go after what you desire. Be playful and splash in the waters of life, creating new ways of abundance for you and others to enjoy. That's giving me a lot of Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces energy as well. Because now you have the messenger of the gods and the gods together here with us in the physical, with your understanding the way this astrology is playing out. It's like you have the gods and the messenger of the gods right here in this physical realm. It's not almost like, but when you hear a lot about taking the veil off, or the age of the apocalypse is the unveiling, well, that unveiling is showing itself to you more than ever right now. Let me get one of these cards here because it's just staring at me. Wow. Ascended Master. This came out of the box as I opened it. Warrior and Ascended Master is here. But let me see what's the message that's pulling through this. This is very mercurial right now because it got me. We're not even in the Mercury hour. Which hour are we in right now? Which hour am I in based on my location? Saturn. For 9 more minutes. Completing the cycle. One side is rushing it, the other one is almost there. But both are almost there, but one is rushing it more than the other. Different perspectives on that. Let's see. What's this? What's the energy here right now? Okay. You got Lucifer and the Illuminati. Yo, where we about to go right now, Source? Because, bruh. So, messenger of the gods, and the gods are with us, and the message is, I shall not condemn myself. In love I trust. Learning to love again. The opening of the heart chakra. Now, the opening of the heart chakra is a very big deal. It's a very big deal. Because that is the space that allows you to use that law of attraction, 2323 on the clock. To really use that law of attraction in a way that you can hear. Because 203, because it was just 23, so that's 203. It's 302. Because 203 is connected to the 6 of Swords, which is Mercury and Aquarius. So you have like this connection to the stars, or to space, or to the ethers, to certain gods and goddesses, or anything that's outside of this world, other energies outside of this world. So there's a shift in the mindset. It's the age of Aquarius, yo. This is why there's so many of us being able to tap into this information or connect to people with this information. We're just having a conversation right now with Source. This is exactly what's happening. Like, I feel like I'm talking to somebody that's like, this is as if I'm live with somebody right now. We just gonna keep this going. Yo. Wow. It says, turn off the television, limit your personal information exposure on the internet. Friend somebody in the real world. Seek community that is in harmony with Mother Earth and the creatures that inhabit her. Use the power of your purse to demand a supply of conscious goods and service from suppliers who give back and make positive contribution to the world. Seek the professional guidance to get and stay out of debt. Diversify your wealth on paper into precious metals, food, water, first aid, and safe haven. Be curious as to by what means your money comes to you. Be curious as to by what means your money comes to you. What do you do with it and where it goes after it leaves your possession? Now, this is the Illuminati card. This is what's being illuminated to you all here. This is powerful though, because a lot of you, your emotional security comes from your material. So, if we are not part of the solution, then we must be part of the problem. Move from fear of the unknowable and the uncontrollable into a greater love of thy neighbor as thyself. You open up the doors outside of you to the same doors. The doors that open up outside of you are the same doors that are open within. The ones that are closed without are the same ones that are closed within. There's been this reevaluation or this analytical moment for the collective where you're really looking to see, or this could be the message where you start looking to see, like, this is how I love. Not so much that you want to express that to people, but you want to see who observes you to know that that's the way you love. That's why you're being guided to observe energy in order for you to grow spiritually is important, especially when it comes to a spiritual love connection. There's not that many people in the world that actually observe. Let me get the actual definition here. Observed and observe come from the Latin root observare, which means note or regard, but also keep safe or protect. It says what the Falcon's message was: in order for you to connect to that independent nature, that knowledge, and have clarity of that knowledge that you have, that will even lead you to more of an independent nature and around others who can accept that independence that you have, where you don't have to dim your light. It says here you're being guided to observe, and the Latin root of that word comes from the Latin root observare, which means note or regard. You're being guided to note or regard, but also keep safe or protect. And we just finished reading the message of "In Love I Trust." Let's look at that again. In terms of observation, it says use your power. Let's go back to the beginning. Turn up the television, limit your personal information exposure on the internet, friend somebody in the real world. Seek community that is in harmony with Mother Earth and the creatures that inhabit her. Use the power of your purse to demand a supply of conscious goods and service from suppliers who give back and make a positive contribution to the world. This is nothing but Age of Aquarius like warning. If this is not what you're doing, because how many people you know that, for one, love to gossip? That's also the low frequency of Mercury conjunct North Node. There's going to be a lot of gossip, but you need to know yourself more than anybody in this here. If you're watching this channel, for sure, you have to set that example by being the example, not even talking so much about it, just by being. Sending off a signal to other people's senses by what they sense from what they're observing, if they are observing and taking note of what it is that you're doing. Because there's a lot of people that are quick to respond but slow to listen or to hear. The observer is very slow to respond. The wise one doesn't speak as much. It just observes. It goes back to the drawing board. It goes back to that space where a lot of ascending masters create for themselves. Yeah, you'll be out there in the world, but at the same time, there's a lot more connection between you and the Most High on a daily basis. So this is for some of you who are finding yourself in this like hermit type of energy as you're figuring things out. And as you're figuring things out, you're noticing where you may have this tug of war. And it may not even be something that's being expressed to you. You can sense it. But move accordingly with all that it is that you're sensing. Because like the whale says, and the whales, it carries a lot of ancient wisdom. You can see this as the Piscean energy. There could be illusions and delusions, but there's also this ability for you to change things for the better in a realm that you don't normally see, because you would have to be in a certain state to experience it. And that state comes with compassion, to go that deep. Why is it important to have compassion on this journey? Because you're going to uncover a lot of things that will quickly take you to the edge. But you have to be mindful of the cycles you've been through to even get to the space where this is happening. There's a reason why you're in this space right now. Because you're prepared for it. Everything you've done up until this point, it doesn't matter where you're at and what's happening in your life. Listen, you can change this right now. Mercury conjunct North Node, that's what that message is all about. You can change it by what it is that... The ad that came up as I was sitting here watching other YouTube videos was Jim Quick, where he was like, when he went to one of his friend's homes, and his friend's father told him, "You're this far from achieving your goals." I said, bro, you know how many people, one, will skip that ad and miss that message because wanting things so quickly instead of allowing things to have its process, right? Because you can't rush a baby to go from conception to the next day, 6-9 months. Everything has its cycles. We call it time, and then we make it this daunting thing. But if you look at it as far as moon cycles or cycles, it shifts things a little bit differently now. Because you then be able to now know the game of life and know how to play it. Because it's a cycle, right? So you always hit this certain cycle, a certain moment. And it's there to give you the energy or the frequency to change something. But again, like we started this video, if you don't know the energy's there, 3344, you don't know the energy's there, how are you going to know to use it? If you don't know that you are a God, how are you going to know to tap into God frequency? Because simply stated, to say that you are a God is basically taking accountability for all that you do in connection to the Most High, which is a God. Because as I posted on Twitter, I feel like it's cosmic disobedience to not express yourself that way, or to be afraid of that. Unless you come from something else that doesn't make you that. That's a different story. And that is out here too. So Lucifer says, "I shall not condemn myself." Let's see what he's talking about, okay? How loudly does your monkey mind chatter consuming your attention and thoughts? How loudly does your monkey mind chatter consuming your attention and thoughts? Greetings, beloved. Are you addicted to the thoughts about the past, present, and future that you let them run amok, usurping your ability to be quiet, still, and centered? Yo, first and foremost, before I even move any further, I will highly suggest, even if you have family members who are not tapped in, this is a strong moment for you to pray for those who are unable to see when they're addicted to certain low frequencies. Some people are fixed on them, yo. And this is why you're here. You're here to step into that compassion, to see the other side, because that's where you're gonna be triggered the most now. Wherever you allow yourself to be vulnerable, those are the ones that's where you're gonna learn. And it's all good. Learn it. So that way you can step into the cause and effect and remove yourself from that good or bad, that right or wrong, that causes a lot of confusion. Granted, yes, this is the realm of duality, but I'm saying it causes confusion because there are too many minds fixed on that, which would mean that you're only fixed on Aries to Virgo. There's no Libra to Pisces energy, because Libra to Pisces is the spiritual side, while Aries to Virgo is the physical side. Okay, so Lucifer's message is, how loudly does your monkey mind chatter consuming your attention and thoughts? Are you so addicted to the thoughts about the past, present, and future that you let them run amok, usurping your ability to be quiet and still and centered? Many of us are just as addicted to our thoughts as some are to crack cocaine. Have you ever been accused of taking up so much airtime in a conversation that no one else had a chance to say anything? Be honest with yourself with these questions, because some of y'all like this, and this is why you still attract certain people that do this to you, and you're wondering why, because this is a part you do. Until you really sit there and be honest with yourself and take accountability for yourself in certain instances like this, where it says, have you ever been accused of taking up so much airtime in a conversation that no one else had the chance to say anything? Some of you want to be heard, but you're always presented with people who want to be heard. Okay, so depends on the frequency where that's at, like the difference between wanting and needing. So let's continue. Are you prone to thinking so loudly about what you need to say next when someone else is speaking that you can't even hear them, or worse, you're paranoid they might actually say something that can shake the arrogant confidence right out of your faulty opinions? Gosh. Yo, come through with the bringers of light. Y'all see how this energy is flowing? Like, this is like the message of the day. And I feel like after this, I'm going to post some Intuit Oracle cards to clarify this, a couple tarot cards, and we're going to end it right there. We don't need no more than this. We don't need no more than this. You had to remove yourself from a lot. Yeah. And as you do, continue to do your observations and just continue to let go, but then step into that unconditional love. So that Empress can sit there like, yeah. So it says, are you prone to thinking so loudly about what you need to say next when someone else is speaking that you can't even hear them? Or worse, you are paranoid that they might actually say something that can shake the arrogant confidence right out of your faulty opinions? Is it time to do what may have felt impossible and just shut thyself the fuck up? That's what it says here. I promise you, that's what it says. Is it time to do what may have felt impossible and just shut thyself the F up? Rest your awareness in the wordless quiet, if only 5 seconds. Gradually increase it to 60 seconds. You may feel distracted during this micro meditation by an urge to do or think about something more interesting and comforting. There could be a baseline of anxiety or trauma forcing an urge of longing driving many of us into addictive behavior. This is what I mean. It's a very powerful time to change the mindset and the thought patterns because of traumatic experiences of the entire bloodline right now. Congratulate yourselves for even being here and receiving this message. Congratulate ourselves to be able to have this interaction where y'all inspire me to keep going, to keep delivering these messages. Because I can stay all day and just do the shit by myself. But what is that going to do? That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for. Some of you are moving yourselves from that, where there's one thing to plan in silence, and there's another where you keep yourself in this bubble and never do anything with it. So let's continue. It says there could be a baseline of anxiety or trauma forcing an urge of longing, driving many of us into addictive behavior. These self-destructive habits serve to briefly deflect the pain of what we perceive to be unbearable in our lives. What do these inner demons rearing their ugly heads look like to you? Identify one that is present this very moment and be willing to confront it. Draw, sculpt, paint, or make a collage of it. How and when did it come so effective at keeping you trapped in self-sabotaging habits that separate you from the free will to make other choices? Be willing to confront and transmute it. Seek professional psycho-spiritual therapeutic support or help from an AA type program that specifically addresses any addictions you need to quell. I shall not condemn myself. This is a powerful message because I know this is going to be one of those times where you got to really be mindful of your thoughts. And then Mercury goes into Gemini, and then it's also having a retrograde. So it's really going to help you to slow down the process of your thoughts too. So use that energy to your advantage. We're definitely in that shadow phase though, because that starts the 10th of May, Mercury retrograde. So we know that to be a time of reevaluating, redoing, resting, recuperating. If you're going to sign something new, make sure you're going over and over and over and then checking the fine details, the fine print, reading the fine print. Okay? We have the shadow. I see me in you too, but you have to know how to take control of it. Let's get one more. Let me get one more. Got two. First responder and Sufi. Now, this was definitely peeping out as we were looking at these messages. And you have the beast here at the bottom of the deck. I revere my body. So some of you in this Taurus season, do some more strength training. Allow your body to treat your body well. Is the message basically. Treat your body well. You are the first responder to your body, so treat it with reverence. Okay, treat it with reverence. It says, I am here to serve my beloved divine. So some of you could even be reconnecting with someone from a past life. Is another message that's coming through, because that's been pulling in as well, because the more you connect to your ancient abilities, the more you're going to connect with ancient souls, or souls that recognize your soul without you having to explain yourself. As we were saying, that observation and that understanding. When you understand yourself, you surround yourself more with, or attract more people who understand themselves. In that conversation of, that's just how this is just the messages that I got for y'all, as well as my perspective. 2:44:11 on the clock. Granted, you don't have to take everything that you hear like a grain of salt, basically. So use what resonates with you, and what doesn't, you already know what to do with that. Let's get the Intuit Oracle. Can you clarify this here for the collective? What's this? We got the cake coming out in the 4 of Aries. Okay. So some of you may have sun, moon, rising in Aries, or this could also be having a Venus in Aries. But this is a moment of celebration, gathering with friends and family that honor you and recognize you for who you are. Birthdays, awards, ceremonies, anniversaries, graduations, it could be coming up. So let's see here. What else we got? We have very likely and the water carrier. So if some of you had a question about it in Aquarius, it's very likely whatever question you had. And the message here of the water carrier is about being a humanitarian, being generous, noble, balanced, having a calm life, being a great communicator, compassionate, okay? The ability to alleviate suffering, benefactor. It's almost like Jupiter's energy, caring for others, being humane, helpful, and ethical. And caring for others and being ethical is knowing where that help is necessary, not forcing it, but making it available, and those who wish to seek and receive, they will, but don't force yourself, okay? This is showing me Ace of Pentacles energy as well here. Aquarius and Aries. The way for you to be bold and take action is one, knowing who you are. Because what could be keeping you stuck is knowing who you are, but you have to just, like I said before, mind your business. Don't worry about what nobody thinks about what you're doing, because obviously it might be something that's not the norm or unorthodox, or it may not be in the order as to which people feel like you should be doing it, and that's none of your business. Fork in the road comes out. It's none of your business. And we have olive branch at the bottom of the deck. The moment that you make a decision about whatever is causing this tension and anxiety, where you may have to take a risk here. Anxiety is popping up quite often right now in 3 cards, or 2 cards. Why is this here? Angels and ancestors, why is the anxiety here for the collective? What do you want them to know? What do you want them to know? And they had me look right over to the card at the bottom of the deck is the eagle, which is all about you being guided to let go of emotional attachment and connect to divine inspiration, flying above the restraints of yourself and society. Look for moments of truth and act upon them. From your evaluated vantage point, balance, harmony, and joy can be easily found. Tell me more about this for the collective. What do you want them to do, angels and ancestors, when it comes to this pressure, anxiety? That's the best thing for you to do. Retreat and recharge. And they made me slap these 2 together, which is interesting. Wow. You have the lady and the mountains is asking you to stand your ground, because it's going to come the moment for you to enjoy rewards, enjoy your growth and reap rewards. And this is symbolic of justice. And then we have 5 seeds here. So this is basically all 4 pillars of you, along with source being the 5th, creating the star. But you must stand your ground. For some of you, that means retreating and recharging. Okay? When it comes to those of you who are feeling this sense of stress, anxiety, or pressure, they're asking you to retreat and recharge. Tell me more here, what are you asking them to do? Because it's time for you to learn from spiritual experience. This is Virgo, Pisces energy right here. This is wild. So wild. Some of you have to get more familiar with your primordial energy. Each spiritual experience, moments of the unknown that connected you to a reason of why certain experiences may have happened. What's the moon's energy here? Take time to breathe out, they say. And work through your fears by looking at the bigger picture. You allow yourself to get closer and closer to achieving that goal. Trust your heart when it comes to stepping outside your comfort zone. One more. Mm. I have full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches, and you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. But the fiery climax card was in reverse. So it's like making a situation out of nothing by overthinking. Retreat and recharge. You're making a situation out of nothing. Relax. Chill. Doing too much. If somebody was out there telling you that and you didn't like the way they said, I'm telling you that again. Just chill. Nobody likes to be told, just chill. You know how many people get triggered by that? Unfortunately. Granted, depending on the frequency that you come at the person with, they're telling them just chill, but still. Sometimes you have to separate the way something is being said and listen to what's being said. Chill out. Chill out. Okay. Why are you having them chill out like that? Why was that message so important just now? Unconditional love. Because everything you're doing is really not out of love because you or people around you posing these conditions and thinking it's love. Learning how to love again. They don't come with conditions now. You're being guided to rest and enjoy yourself again with the retreat. Create balance in your life and follow your truths. You will intuitively know when and how to take inspired action. You have immense inner wisdom and physical strength. At the bottom of the deck, you have the owl telling you to what? Be calm, observe, and be wise. That's how we started this message. Because the wise one don't say much because it's doing what? It's observing. And unconditional love has to do with you loving without judgment. Like it's no conditions. You love it. People know that very well when they're shopping for material things. You're being guided to find a serenity and stillness. Hear your thoughts and acknowledge your feelings. The answers to any question inside you. The answer to any question is inside you. You are the magic key that unlocks the doors to unconditional love, balance, and abundance in your life. You. You are the magic key. Nobody else. You. Anyone around you is helping you to see that clearly. How they propose that to you, it's a different story. Because you're going to commit to something. You won't say yes to something. That's why I say when they propose it to you. Some of you could say no. Let's see. What do they have to look forward to? I'm with it. Don't second guess this. So what do you have to look forward to? It said success, and you see the tiger. Didn't y'all get the tiger? It was at the bottom of the deck. Let me get it. It says there are many possibilities here, but you're gonna have to be more. No, this is Mars and Aries. So this is talking about that observation, the eagle's energy. Some of you have to observe these moments of isolation and seeing where it's actually helping you to bring balance, because it's time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So like it said here, silence is important, and expect the unexpected from that silence here, from whatever it is that you've been fighting or suppressing. Here comes the balance of it all. The balance of it all, because you're looking at You're getting this new perspective here on past lives. And it's helping you to slow down and bring harmony to the situations, especially in moments where it could have felt a little bit unfair. But what it did was it allowed you to step into that silence to realize that you're connected to something more powerful than the physical that you see. But that connection to something that's more powerful you requires you to have faith. Most things you're used to having faith in is because you're able to see it. This one thing you can't. Some of you, or whatever it is that you've been clinging to the past, here comes a breakthrough moment. This is what the angels are guiding you towards, and this is where this moment of celebration is coming in. But you must have courage to hear and follow the guidance of Source. Okay, so that's what you can expect. Let's end it with the hidden worlds. Hidden worlds. Might as well. Final message, Mercury conjunct North Node for the collective. Thank you for liking the video. For those of you who are still here, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Hidden realms message. Wow. The path of the gods. We here with it. We here with it. I'm telling you. I ain't trying to tell you shit, but I am telling you. We got the Dawn Watcher. We got the Caretaker, Guardian, and Support. Okay, so we in the hidden worlds, and we got the Dawn Watcher. So what's your message? 13. 13 is significant for some of you. That's also Scorpio energy. Transformation. So here's the message. Here's the message. Final message. We have Sacred Journey. 133 is also about having a spiritual presence around. I mean, come on now. Let me get another one because that's yep. Ooh. What just happened? That's why this energy got so strong and expansive. We're in the Jupiter hour. The Light Priestess confirmation. Here we go. Here's the message. We have 22, insight, and then we have 19, the healing temple of the lunar light. That's literally that North Node's energy. It's a lunar node. Life cycles, energy healing, confirmation, y'all, communication. This is all confirming what we just read here. And then we have 22, insight, magical tools, writing, and star crafting. So this is receiving the messages from the gods here, right? Let's look at 22. We started with the path of the gods. So the path of the gods is the following. We're going to read the insight that you now have, but the path of the gods was recognizing who is watching over you. Each time you rise up from a situation, some of you are gaining new spiritual guides, dawn watchers. Then you have the healing temple of the lunar node. This is very masculine like energy because I just smelled a very good cologne and no one's spraying anything in here. Where's my light? It smells like YSL. It smells like YSL. Then we have sacred journey, introversion, seeker, and self-knowledge. That's the path of the gods. The dawn watcher towards the healing temple of the lunar light, which is indeed a sacred journey that involves introversion in order to seek self-knowledge of what is available to you that you're receiving insights of. And we're going to read 22. The message is, what's being illuminated through this message is that I am an instrument of the divine, which pours through me and into the world. From which mystery does insight arise? From what place do the words flow? And how can we connect so deeply that we write of the stars and their secrets? Perhaps we would do well to be like the wizard between the worlds who draws down the energies of all that is above and somehow weaves it into the world below, so spiders are significant too. Combining all that is celestial with all that is terrestrial. In those moments when we connect truly deeply, we can literally become the link between the worlds, and through us can flow a pure and clear energy, a wise energy which can guide and comfort and enlighten, a compassionate energy that can see beyond difference and find communion with those with whom we share this remarkable world. It is time to connect deeply and find the quiet in between times so you too can take up the pen and write, sit quietly and connect and feel the flow of energy that is the proof of your belonging, not only to this world, but to the worlds that lie beyond the sight of your eyes or our eyes. You are one who can share the knowledge. You can write of the stars. You can understand the power of the pen and the words that flow, and of the magical tools you can gather about you. This is a time to grow stronger in your magical work, to learn how to use the scrying ball, to work by the soft enchantment that is a candlelight, to turn your gaze towards the stars and draw down the wonder to reveal what others cannot see in your works. Alchemize the seen and the unseen, and let the wisdom pour through the pen and into the words that will flow out of you. Insight. And your final message, collective, for Mercury conjunct North Node in the sign of Taurus. The illumination is, I am an instrument of the divine, which pours through me and into the world. What will you allow to pour through you and into the world, collective? Go for it. It's your time, baby. It's your time right now to shift that perception. Like Jim Quick said, how far are you away from what it is that you want? This far. And that's right here. It's the best thing I've seen all day. I love it. So, blessings, love, peace, love, light, dark, balance of it all. Because it's all connected. Not the same, but all connected. Till next time.